I would pay for it if it was $200. I would still think about it, but I think that I could justify what they're offering here for 200, 150, in that range of 150 to 200. Is it worth enough where you will sell, $100 worth of content every single month for sure? Since I don't know that, that does play into my analysis. Is Midi Money a scam? So due to the nature of the internet becoming widely available, the ease of micro-targeting, and the widening of wealth gaps, more folks are being exposed to ads by people who claim to have a magical secret to getting rich quick. Now, I hate to say it, but the fact that you are watching this video right now means you are probably going to get targeted by stuff like Midi Money, a wealth of different life gurus and drop shipping gurus, and probably the drip plugin. I mean, if you aren't already now, just because you may have watched my last video on the drip plugin, and just a slew of fake gurus essentially who are trying to sell you the secret that only they know about how to scale your business by 1.5 billion overnight, or something to that extent. And I just want to, in this video, dive in and kind of look at the Midi Money, what they're trying to sell, and just give you my impression of whether or not it's worth how much they're trying to charge. Now, I want to also note that I haven't actually done their program. I'm looking at it kind of as an outsider perspective, looking in, kind of looking at what they have listed and whether or not what they say price-wise, if that really makes sense. If you have taken their course, please reach out to me. I'd love to know whether or not there are more upsells or more hidden costs, because they have a specific cost they list and whatnot, and there are some upsells there, but is there more? And that's a piece of this puzzle that's important too. And since I don't know that, that does play into my analysis. If you've ever taken their course, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe we could sit down and do an interview, or you could just shoot me an email and kind of walk through your thoughts, whether it's positive or negative. I'm more than happy and interested in hearing. I'm also more than happy to release another or multiple videos on this. Hit me up, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM, Instagram, Twitter, by my email on this video in the description. And let me know if you've taken this course or someone who's taken it, and we can talk further. I want to talk a little bit about my personal experience on gurus, and we're going to kind of put Midi Money a little bit in, if it's not directly, and it's kind of in adjacent to these gurus, right? The idea is they're trying to sell a masterclass. They know the best way to do a particular thing, and that's kind of when I think of a guru. It's someone who you look up to who has figured it out, and they're passing their knowledge down to you. They're the Jedi Master or whatnot. I remember a couple years ago kind of getting pulled in on the drop shipping guru thing. I never spent any money on any guru stuff, but definitely was headed in that direction. I created, a Shopify store. I was doing research on, AliExpress, and just kind of figuring it out, like, hey, is this something that I could do? A little extra side cash would be great, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, just the costs of maintaining that and between the time and just the physical money just didn't seem to make sense with how much it seemed like I would pull in, especially when you calculate like ad targeting and all that stuff. So I dropped it and went along my life. That's my background on this, and just because of that, because I've seen these things pop up, and I'm sure you've seen the ads for them on YouTube if you're someone who's frequently on YouTube. It just seems like it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's the Tai Lopez model, or it's someone making fun of the Tai Lopez model to try to suck you in to click on their ClickFunnels and sign up for their masterclass. So I'm at the Midi Money website, which is actually under the Producer Secrets, which I think is the name they call their program. Midi Money is like the company. Producer Secrets is the program. You know, you've got a picture of Anno AD and Leigon Gabe, and they start off by saying how we sold this amount of money of beats online without relying upon tons of followers and subscribers, which, you know, is their way of marketing to the up-and-coming producers. They talk about how to clone our system with a couple of mouse clicks. If you watched my drip review, you'll know that I hate this shit. A couple of mouse clicks, or a couple would be 2, right? So they're saying within 2 clicks, you can clone their system. Now, I haven't taken their course, and I don't have their templates, which we'll get into that here in a sec. So I don't know if it's only a couple of clicks. Exclusive training with Leigon Gabe and AD, the new model of selling beats got to over 1 million each without relying on big social media following, blah, blah, blah. If you're not a techie, as someone who works in tech, you're gonna struggle with this stuff just in general. I mean, they'll probably walk you through, but you're not even gonna come close to this if you're not somewhat technologically knowledgeable, but just based off of like what you're gonna have to learn, you know, whether it's, you know, kind of creating and designing, I think you're gonna run into challenges. Or if you have no marketing experience at all. Again, these you're gonna probably need. If you want to get this, you're gonna need these to some extent. Doesn't have to be huge, and this might be a good learning experience, but just be prepared to not get this. Yes, I want to see this now. Now this is good. I like this. Note, this training is not for everyone. I think that's important in my analysis of something like this, that they put that caveat there. Granted, it's right at the bottom, so you would have to kind of scroll further to see it. I know that that's probably planned on some extent. You click on this, and it starts to throw you down their particular funnel. I tried to click on this without this receiving free content and reminders, but this is required. You just can't get in it unless you click on this. So they do. Luckily, the phone number is optional, but Editor Kevin here. I was on my way to work, and I got this phone call from San Francisco, and I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. And so I pick it up, and sure enough, it is Midi Money saying, hey, why haven't you subscribed for classes yet? And it was the weirdest fucking experience to be robocalled by a music production master. It was just weird. Like, Gap isn't robocalling me. Like other companies, Cymatic, stuff like that, they're not robocalling me. I expect to receive texts, but robocall, like, that just felt so scammy and weird. Like I expect it from politicians. I don't expect it from music production sort of like course thing. This is required. So we click on that, submitting, boom, and we immediately get brought to their landing page. There's a 2-hour video, hour and 47-minute video, where he goes through the system and talks about,
really crushing it. You're doing,
you know, sales
and I believe in the next
just kind of what he's doing here, which you know is good information, but it's all there to ultimately get you to buy their program. So he's got a little video there. You can hop in here and watch it yourself. This is a little bit of scarcity that's being injected into this mix to get you to hop on, because more than likely you've watched a YouTube video. It's the ad that's popped up. They kind of suck you in with that initial ad. You click on it, brings you to this. Boom. All right, so how much is Producer Secrets? Well, according to their information here, which is limited time, but probably isn't, but regardless, they're saying that it is worth $7,500 for only $1,000 today, just for $500. Well, this isn't just today, because I found this video a couple of days ago, went on here, same price. Also, there's plenty of like Reddit and other information out there where they list the same $500. Anyway, so what are they gonna give you for $500, and is it worth it? Free producer funnel template valued at $1,000. Is that worth $1,000? Well, I mean, you could argue it's what they use. Their particular funnel template is what they use, so you save some time. Well, I'd probably say that more than likely I would purchase a producer funnel template at most $500. For something like this, you could probably hire someone off of Fiverr or one of those places who has some background, or find someone who has some background, and they can put you through, creating a template for much less that, if someone who's experienced in this stuff, probably could put together a really solid looking template for, in like an hour or two. Free 2 weeks of ClickFunnels, valued at $49. This pissed me off when I saw it the first time, because if you go to ClickFunnels and you sign up for them, you get 14 days free. You get 2 weeks free. It's how it's been. So that's not something that they're providing. That's something that that ClickFunnels is providing. And because normally ClickFunnels is $90, or basically $100 a month. So that's something to keep in mind. You get 2 free weeks, and then you're gonna start paying $100 a month or more if you've got the premium. And so, are you gonna be able to make at a minimum $100? So on top of already spending $500, and then whatever else you do, the time and energy in creating the funnel, the content that goes on the funnel, right, that you could have been working a job or making more beats or whatnot. You also, once the 2 weeks lapses, you're going to start having to pay, $100 a month. And so, are you going to be able to make back the $500 plus the additional $100? Is it worth enough where you will sell, $100 worth of content every single month for sure? And then, are you going to be able to make back that $500? Producer Funnel Secrets Masterclass. I'm guessing this is the program right here. Valued at $1,000. Okay, I don't know how many hours this is. Is it just an hour? Is it the same stuff that you could find on YouTube where you are, Googling that? I mean, they've got a lot of content that they give away for free just talking about their stuff. How much of it is them just fluffing up the program? How much of it is like down to brass tacks sort of content where they are actually analyzing the funnel and they're talking about how exactly it works? Like, I'm curious. Andy, Legion Beats Resale Rights. All right, that's $2,000 value. Yeah, probably. I mean, they're giving you some beats there. I don't know how many. I'm hazarding to bet about 10 of them, considering I've watched some videos where people have basically duplicated their funnel identically, and they listed on their funnel 10 free beats as like one of the bonuses. This is used so that way when you do an upsell, you can say, I'm going to give you some free beats from AD and Legion. I don't think this is worth $1,900 because everyone who buys this gets it. And so these aren't exclusive, and people, if they start jumping on your funnel, are going to get some of these. And then if they've done other ones, they'll be like, whoa, this is the same beat. So it honestly, on some level, it'll diminish yourself. Beat traffic hacks. I don't know what this is. Is this an ebook? Is this a video? This is an ebook, and it's valued at $500. That's absurd. If it's a video or whatnot, okay. Private group access, a $297 value. This is a Facebook group. It doesn't cost that much money for them to maintain. Being a part of an exclusive Facebook group, $300. I'll be honest, that's definitely on the lower end of some of these guru masterclass stuff. I mean, there's people like, Danny Bach or something like that, who charges his people like $200 a month. So that's definitely better. And it's a bonus, so technically it's free. They're throwing it in. They're Modern Producers Bundle, $700 in value. That, I don't know how many sample packs that is. Modern Producers is a sample pack company. They normally sell their bundles for pretty cheap. I did like their Black Friday bundle, and it was like, I think I paid like $20 for just 20 gigabytes worth of content. So that's up to you if you think that it's worth $700. We don't know how much content is in there. They don't give more information. I kind of wish they did, to explain what is the Modern Producers Bundle, to see if it's actually worth it. I get skeptical when things are hidden, like what, that. So is it worth $700? You might get it and find that it's not. Weekly live coaching at $2,000. I mean, I guess, as they could technically claim that. I mean, they claim to be industry industry experts. So $2,000, people will spend a good money to work with a live coach. I don't know. Is this in-person coaching, or is this them throwing a video up and then you clicking on it? What is weekly live coaching? Is this, is this pre-recorded? Is this in person? Is this, over the phone, text? What exactly? Is it with Leigon? Is it with AD? Who's it with? That's a lot of question marks. So that would definitely tell me whether or not this is worth $2,000. And then they bust it all down. And they say today just for $500. Normal tactic. Anyway, and then you've got the productivity masterclass. So then they have their upsell right here. So if you're already spending $500 at that point, it's like, okay, well, I can only get this if I buy the course. So of course, most people actually will probably pay for this. So you end up spending more like $550. This is kind of like a life coach thing. This is not worth $47 in my opinion. There's plenty of great books out there on this. You could literally probably YouTube productivity masterclass and find someone who's done it, and you could watch some philosophy videos and stuff like that. So I don't think this is worth $47. Consider you could probably get the content for free. They got a bunch of people who've done the program, who are excited about it. Cool. They got a lot of these like testimonial type stuff, probably legitimate. I'm not gonna doubt them. I'm gonna assume positive intent, but for all the people who, are they actually making back their $500? I think I get a little frustrated, and it's not Midi Money's fault about this, to be honest, because ultimately it's up to YouTube and the FTC to regulate stuff, and they're not the worst. Drip was definitely worse than they are with just kind of the value. Now, granted, I didn't pay for it, so I'm not actually looking at this and saying, oh, having spent, this is my feeling. So maybe if I bought it, I would feel completely the opposite, or maybe I'd feel worse. Maybe I'd be like, this is worse than Drip. I have no idea. I do own Drip, so I do know that plugin is just isn't worth what I paid for it. And I don't know about this, but they use the same aggressive targeting and micro targeting of people in the audio community, who, to be honest, are already, a lot of them, struggling and trying to turn their passion into a career. I get it. Everyone's got to hustle. Everyone's got to figure out how they are going to go ahead and make money at something they love. I do dislike some of their language they use on their website, because I think that it is a little misleading. And there's the stereotypical, oh, this is worth $8,000, but we're just going to sell it to you for $500. Isn't that a steal? Which I don't really like. I mean, but it's normal for people to try to figure out, hey, how do I really hook people in? And consumer psychology says when people see a deal, they go for it a lot of the time. So I could see why they would market it the way they do. FTC and YouTube won't regulate ads and kind of that sort of stuff at all. They're just not going to do that, probably. So it really truly is up to us as humans and whatnot to become literate in these things, to kind of look at something and really, before we make that initial jump, to look into it and say, hey, is this worth it? To do our research and do our due diligence. And I really hope, if you're watching this, that before making this jump, determining, hey, spending $500 today, right now, is it actually going to benefit me? But I think what I don't like about this is a lot of the times this is built to target, and you can watch it in some of the ads. If you see a Midi Money ad pop up or Producer Secret ad pop up, think about kind of the videos that they're attached to. Are they for newer producers? And listen to the story they tell. Is it something that's like a rags to riches story about how, is it a rags to riches story of, I discovered this secret and now I'm a millionaire and yada yada. Listen to the story and determine whether or not that ad spend and that advertisement is who it's geared for. And I would honestly bet that it's geared for new producers, which makes me frustrated, right? It's the same reason I got frustrated with the Drip. You're marketing to new producers and you're kind of selling them snake oil on some level. You're saying, hey, if you get this, you may be the next millionaire beat salesperson, which the reality is probably not the case, not to be too cynical. Don't like the inflation of value, but everyone does it. And, you know, as long as you're smart enough to know that what they're listing here is the value is probably what the value of these products actually are. Like, if you were to put this on the market by itself, would you spend $2,000 for a weekly live coaching? Would you spend $700 on Modern Producers Bundle? Would you spend, you know, $1,000 on a masterclass? Would you do that? If the answer is no, then it's not worth that value. If the answer is yes, then maybe it is worth that value. But you got to ask yourself, is it actually worth what they're claiming it's worth? And that's important. So I want to be clear. I don't think Legion, Gabe, and AD are scammers. And I don't think they're hucksters or fraudulent or any of those things necessarily. I think that they are flirting with the line on some level, and since I don't pay for their product, I don't know what's behind that paywall. I think that it's really cutting it close to some of the same tactics, and that's just uncomfortable. It's just kind of like red flags kind of pop up. I do think that they probably are providing some level of value, which is good. It definitely got me thinking about ClickFunnels in my own like stuff that I do. Hey, you know, doing some sample pack ClickFunnels and stuff like that. And I don't think ClickFunnels are scams by any means. There's some that are probably, but you know, I know people who use them and they're legitimate businesses. So I'm not against ClickFunnels. It's the marketing of the product and what exactly they're claiming to sell you and the amount they're trying to sell you. That's the stuff that I tend to be a little bit more critical of. I'm gonna be honest, if I look at what they're selling here, I would pay for it if it was $200. $500 is just a lot. I would pay for it if it was $200. I mean, I would still think about it, but I think that I could justify what they're offering here for 200, 150, in that range of 150 to 200. But, you know, it's ultimately whatever you think it's worth. So I'd love to let me know what you think in the comments below. You know, let me know if you've tried this, if you've done this, what your thoughts are of this. If you like content like this, let me know. I'm trying to figure out, you know, each month what kind of videos I'm releasing. And when I see stuff like this, I'm like, hey, you know, I feel like it, you know, people need to be thinking about these things and not just jumping head first. So that's why I'm here to talk about this and really dive into it. So, you know, shoot me a message if you know, in the comments below, and let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.